House Intelligence Committee member Peter King joins me now. Good to see you tonight, Congressman. Is that a real concern on their part?
No, it really is not. I mean, I've heard nothing from the White House other than that they want to cooperate. They feel that things are going well. I'm hearing that secondhand. But there's no indication at all from anyone that the president wants to get rid of Bob Mueller. Listen, the president is not happy about the investigation because he's convinced that there was no collusion. But the reality is there is a special counsel, and the White House is fully cooperating. His lawyers at the White House are cooperating entirely with Bob Mueller, totally.
So what's your takeaway from today? Do you think that the White House should feel that this is heading in a favorable direction for them, or do you think it's just the beginning?
Well, I've said all along, I've heard no testimony at all. I'm on the Intelligence Committee, which in any way shows any collusion whatsoever. The fact that Manafort and Gates were indicted today, it has nothing to do with the campaign, nothing to do with President Trump. It involves incidents going back anywhere from 6 to 11 years ago, involving the Ukraine, nothing with the campaign. And I think this is an attempt by Mueller, in case Manafort has something on President Trump, which I'm convinced he doesn't, to try to turn him, and that's what that is. As far as Papadopoulos, I never heard of him. I didn't know anything about him, and it would seem to me, and again, I don't want to prejudge it, but if you're going to be involved in some sort of collusion, you're not going to pick someone that no one's heard of. And by all accounts so far, everything he tried to do as far as setting up meetings with Russians was rejected by the White House.
Yeah, and there's specific quotes from Paul Manafort saying that he does not. Just to make it clear, the president's not going to take any meeting of that sort, and somebody should let down the chain should let them know that. I do want to ask a quick question about tax reform, because I know there's an 8:30 phone call tonight with members of Congress and the White House. I know you've been very concerned that tax deal would include the elimination of the state and local tax deduction. How's that going?
There's been some progress in that Kevin Brady, chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, has said that they will allow the property tax deduction to continue, but they will not allow the state income tax deduction. And to me, that would be a big hit against New York, against my constituents. Again, the property tax, that's a step forward, but the fact they still want to keep the state income tax out, to me, that would have a real impact on my constituents. And I cannot sign on to that, certainly at this stage, because I want everyone to get a tax cut. I don't want the rest of the country to get a tax cut and have my constituents subsidizing it.
I mean, the initial budget deal was a lot closer than anybody thought it was going to be. Is that the kind of picture that you expect to see on the real bill, the way it looks right now?
Well, the final vote was 216 to 212. And among those 216 were a number of members of Congress who I believe would vote against the tax deal as written right now. They voted for it because they wanted to move it forward, and they wanted to give the Ways and Means Committee time to come out with more details, which I understand. But the fact is, I think the Republican leadership is very concerned that of that 216, they could lose another, 5 to 10 of them. So, they are concerned, yes.
Well, no doubt they'll be listening on that phone call tonight. We will, too. We'll hear what comes out of it. Thank you very much.